They played us like a damn fiddle!
City Watch, move along.
Those Varani want to swindle me. I can't charge 5 gold a hand for this. Those Varani... The war is good for business and bad for people. What can you do? Those Varani want to look with your eyes, buy with your hands.
Just look at it all.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
So many new faces in the market these days. Heard rumors of the duel? The drunkard and the hero, in search of a game of hexes. You want Kest in the lower tunnels. Heard rumors of the duel? The drunkard and the hero.
Forsted of Forsted traders, pleased to make your acquaintance. We don't pretend to the great houses, unlike certain families I might mention, but many luminaries have dined with us all the same. Don't you know, the An ones are an ancient line, though if what I have heard is true, it may be near its end. The Wyvern gifts, on the other hand, no one has anything to say against the Wyverns, but then no one has anything to say to the gifts. You wish for a gnomish spun suite, or a rare fey blade hilt. All these things must come to Rathir before they can be sold. I see to that. When you look about, you see a city of grace and magic. What I see is this bought dear, that sold cheap, cornered markets, doors to profit. Very well then. Forsted of Forsted traders, pleased to make your acquaintance. You're not in the merchant trade yourself. No, I thought not. Good day.
10 years. The siege is gone.
Every morning, fresh soldiers.
Every morning, fresh in search of a game of hexes.
Welcome to Rathir, outsider.
Hello, hello.
In search of a game of hexes.
You weren't cast in the...
Heard rumors of the duel? The drunkard and the hero. This is the sage crafting table. I can help you with gems and shards and the like. If you want general goods, you should speak to Master Gwalchmay over there. Oh, he's been very good to me. I knew my gems were good, but they wouldn't seem to sell in a market stall. They do better here. Oh, it's so lovely, the lunar gardens. Not that I've seen much else of the world. Have you? Oh, I'd be terrified to go so far. It takes great concentration. You can get lost in the work. I like that. I can't tell if he's lazy or clever, but he gets away with so much for his age. So long.
The army keeps lowering the burn. Wouldn't want to be caught cutting purses there.
Hello, hello. You have come to Gwalchmay's goods, provisioner to all Rathir, to high and low, great house and sparrow alike. Oh, him? No one knows his real name. Got that name from the way he talks. Some say he was next to the Archsage once, up Spire Top. Then a spell went wrong, or his lover fell to her death. Whatever it was, broke him, it did. The great families of Rathir, of course, as rich in power as in gold. Visit the upper city and see them yourself. Worth the climb, if you ask me. Humble servant to great house, sparrow and soldier alike. Women and men in want of things make their way to Gwaltmay's goods. I could tell you a thing or two about this city. Did you know, for instance, that Faldrin Afari ate the 5th memorial stone? Cast a spell and ate it. I could say a thing or two about Wyvern Gif as well, if I didn't fear the consequence. The first 4 are easy enough to find about the city, but the 5th, few know the truth of it. They are the rag pickers and dust grubbers of the city. Mind you, I don't let them in the front door. Appearances, not to mention odors. Yes, what about him? I sent him on an errand and I'm still waiting. The Wyverns had a claim of their own, mind you, but their marriage to Gif, a scandal. I know the truth of it, but I'm not at liberty to say. Very good, then. Gwaltmay's goods. Tell me, what do you need? Mabrin wine? Wherever did you find it? Forgive me, it's just they're devilish hard to find. You likely had no idea, but there's not a wine in the world I love more. In fact, I think I'll uncork this now and have a sip. Or two. Another? I could cry just to look at it. Best to drink it now. Yes, best thing for it. The more you drink, the better it goes down. A remarkable woman, there's no denying. But you be wary. Those eyes of hers make promises. Promise things she'll never give. Now there's Anwan and Wyvern Gif. The old oak and the greenweed, some say. Not I. The kind of one's as good as the other. Friend to any soul with such distinguished taste in wine. To you, friend. Rotten-smelling stinkers, they are. But how they love the scraps and tossings no one else would pay a coin for. A Mabrin? Oh, yes. Very much. Excellent vintage. My warmest thanks. Very thoughtful of you. Very kind indeed. What's this? Trade agreement, eh? It's yours. Why, I'll give it to you for a song. That will get Carasta's goat. Ah ha ha ha! Good then. Good, good. Signed and done. Well, my friend, what'll it be?
Is there anything that can't be...
Hello, lovely. The contract. You have it.
Let me see. This is... I don't believe my eyes. Did he agree to this? Oh, my lovely, you have done well. This will be very profitable for me, and so it should be for you. Don't let the old dog fool you. He is as shrewd and stubborn as they come. But like any old dog, his tail will wag for just the right treat. Leaving me? So soon? Come closer. I want to see those eyes. So long. Well, my lovely, what is it? For now, then.
This damn city's got too many rules and courtesies, and I just wish they all would right.
Good day. Forsted of Forsted Traders. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You're not in the merchant trade yourself? No, I thought not. Good day.
So many of our young men and women lost to this war.
I'll sell you weapons, but if it's armor you need, you'll have to speak to that husband of mine. Him? Pff, if you've any love of life, don't talk to him. Can't abide a joke, can't enjoy a drink.
Before the war, the people of Rathir were filled with hope, with joy. Most of them, anyway. Have you met my husband?
Come see me again. Sword, hammer, dagger. What's your taste? A terrible thing. Much as it keeps us in business. I like to think that every weapon I forge just might kill one of those two Arthur. That's what helps me sleep at night. Farewell, love.
Anything, everything is bought and sold in the Pryderi market.
Welcome to Rathir, outsider.
Just listen to the two of them. Husband and wife. Sometimes all I have is a sturdy hammer and an anvil. Never thought I could be unhappy working at a forge until I met those two. Some days I think it's all a jest, and they're like a pair of lovebirds when I'm gone. Others, that there will be bloody murder by noon. Rathir is quite busy now. It wasn't always this way. It was quiet and peaceful once, before the Tuatha. When I was young, the Tuatha stormed Erethel. They broke into Rathir once. I still remember the fires and their ghastly armor. Those fires took the southern docks. It's called the Losgiad now. The Burn.
The army keeps law in the Burn. Wouldn't want to be caught cutting purses there.
In search of a game of hexes. You won't guess in the lower tunnel.
Finest quality, I assure you. Sif Sader at your service. Don't mind the racket. Just my wife, at Harpy across the way. My craft is shields and armor only. The art of it's in the balance. Too heavy and you can't move in it. Too thin and it shatters. Majestic towers, crisp sea air, and I spend my life in here with that milksop Adar and my spiteful hag of a wife. What a mouse! Look at the way he taps at the forge. Scared of his own damn shadow. Proud is right, and why not? Fitted most of the Alfar army. No frills, no finery. Just good, hard steel. First and greatest mistake I ever made. Only thing sharper than her wares is the tongue in her mouth. So long.
A pleasure, I'm sure.
Move along!
Students of magic, masters of spells.
Had to be somewhere here. The keys.
All who love Lyria should seek the Orison at the temple. It's like nothing else I've known. The last warship sailed yesterday. Trumpets blazing...
Anything. Everything is bought and sold in the Pryderi market. Every morning, fresh soldiers board warships on the burn. Every night, the dead and wounded are carried from the ships.
Welcome, friend, to the Luminary Leaf, bookseller extraordinaire. Nearly any book you can imagine can be found here, at the Luminary Leaf, be it history, verse, or scholarship. Though, I must confess, we are not as well supplied in gnomish texts as I would like. The ancient steps of our founder and prophet are dear to any Rathiri's heart. But mine shall always stir to the brave tales of the war-sworn of old, pitting steel and valor against chaos itself. In truth, I once thought I might be a poet, but it seems in the end I am more shepherd than ram to my flock of tomes. Ah, you see? My metaphors always run amok somehow. I cannot ascend the steps of the spire without thinking on the first lines of the Fall of Dwinian, nor espy the Wending and not recall Stone Shadows. Rathir is a city of letters. I dare anyone to say otherwise. Now, while many books can be found only within Scholia Arcana walls, others can only be found without. Gnomish texts, magical controversies. Peluin tugs at the heartstrings. Medara's mists at dawn takes my breath away. If you seek something a bit more rough and lively, the Varani Kesseniki or Sea Chance might be worth a read. Until next time, if you have come looking for the world's wisdom transfixed upon the page, you've come to the right place. Until next time...
I say, don't ruin it. Welcome to Rathir, outsider.
If you're looking for vintage Alfar spellbooks, or a copy of the original gnome census scrolls, you're in the right place. War is ugly. Perhaps if the generals did more reading, and the scholars did more fighting, then everyone would better understand the pointlessness of violence. I'm studying in preparation to join the Scholia Arcana. Is there any other reason to be in Rathir? This is where magic lives. It is the only place to be if you wish to study the arcane, to see the lunar gardens, or to gain an audience with the Archsage himself.
Stand aside.
Welcome to Rathir, outsider.
Anything, everything is bought and sold in the Prederi market.
The Watch sees all in Rathir.
Only warships dock at the burn. All others must go to the quays. Ruwani, apothecary, alchemist, importer, and cultivator at your service. If you think yourself a bit of an amateur, you are welcome to the use of my alchemist's bench. I'm happy to sell you anything you require, and forgive any faces I make at your fitful potioneering. Oh, you've met them? Well, any friend of theirs is a friend of mine, although, truth be told, those sisters can be a little strange sometimes. I've always found the mystery of herbs and fungi far more fascinating than anything else. As soon as I was old enough, I was apprenticed to the great Rilf Janik. Were you aware that 37 varieties of vine, flower, and tree can be found here? Discounting, of course, the lunar gardens. Have you been? The true marvel of our city, if you ask me. Blossoms you will see nowhere else in Amalur. Very good, then. Just look at so many of our young men and women lost.
Keep the peace.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Stand aside.
That garden in the temple, spire top, it's always night. Got to see it with your own eyes.
May your stay in Rathir be pleasant. Heard rumors of the duel? The drunkard and the hero.
No, I not believe it. Above decks, below, nowhere to be seen. I swear. So then...
Strong winds lately.
Then, turn around. Don't miss the Seafoam Tavern.
You look like you've traveled far, but not farther than my wares. It's my brothers that ply the seas and bring me goods to trade. When I tire of Rathir, I'll wait till they return and back upon the foam. Not a bad sight from the bow of your ship, although I've never become accustomed to the strange ways of these southern Alfar. Darkelfar, whatever you like to call them, like and unlike to their sisters in the north. Loselfar, that is. The goods here you'll not find the likes of anywhere else, not without braving the raging seas, at least. Safe travels.
Sorry, can't talk. Got pirates to hunt. I captained my first ship when I was no bigger than my papa's knee, and promptly crashed it into the dock, sinking 3 vessels with 1 wreck. It was then that I knew my destiny was to be a sailor. From that day forward, I spent my life on the water. 20 ships in 20 years. It must be some kind of record. He's as elusive as a north wind, a phantom with a skull for a face and fins for feet. Every sailor yearns for the chance to face dead Kel. He and his hangmen go where they please, masters of the frostbreak. In my experience, islands are places you visit in order to escape torment and certain death. The Gallows End is one destination I will avoid on future voyages. Unless I crash there, of course. Sorry, can't talk. Got pirates to hunt.
Well, I grew up listening to the first Scion's tales of Akara's love for us, of his promise to keep us safe and provide for us. Nothing but stories. Akara cares nothing for the people on this island. If he did, why didn't he save my mother? He has lorded over this island for as long as I can remember. Luckily, he left us alone most of the time. I'll never be sure why. I was born on this island, raised to believe that the outside world held nothing for me. It was all lies. Goodbye. Well, goodbye.
Strong winds lately. These Alfar women. Bewitching is what they are. These Alfar, that garden in the temple, spire top. It's always night. Not just
These Alfar women. That garden in the temple. Spire top. It's always night.
You should come to Rathir. There's more to do than out here in these backwards camps and hollows.
all who love Lyria should seek the orison at the temple. It's like nothing else I've known.
I do love hearing a sailor's yarn. If it's a bed you need, speak to Rove at the bar. The innkeep can help you with a room.
Take a look and let me know if you'd like to purchase anything. It grows on you. Give yourself a little time. It won't be long until you feel right at home.
You must be here about the notice. How do I know? Simple. No one but potential applicants will even speak to me. Must be because I reek of desperation, of one sending young souls off to certain doom. I have served the Alpha Merchant Navy since my youth, when I began my career as a deckhand on the good ship Steadfast. He is the scourge of the Frostbreak Sea, a terror who seems intent on sinking every ship we sail from Rathir or elsewhere. If only he'd stayed dead. It's the fierce, icy ocean north of the plains of Erethel, a busy place of trade and transport, and the occasional treachery. It is the hideaway of Dead Kell and his crew. The legends speak of it as a damned isle, a horrible scar on the face of the world. To be quite honest, no one is sure of its true location. For the best, I say. Goodbye.
Oh. Seafoam Tavern. Food, drink, and beds for all. Here's how Rathir is. At first glance, you see naught but marvels. Look again, and you'll note the flaws and cracks. Take a third glance, and through those cracks, more marvels. More truth to that than you know. A room. We've got rooms. Don't mind a flea or two. The sheets might be fresher, but we've got rooms. As you like. It's all the same to me. This is the only establishment in all Rathir that's not Alpha run. The last owner passed away 3 years back. They let me have it, seeing as I lived and worked some 20 years upon this rock. Good then. Food, drink, a bed for the night. Ugh.
A drink? A plate of roast?
If it's a bed you need, speak to Rove at the bar. If it's a bed you need, I do love hearing a sailor's yarn.
Heard rumors of the duel?
These Alpha women, bewitching is what they are.
Busy these days.
Docked in Rathir today. A drink, some cheer, a hot meal. Then on the waves tomorrow morning.
Well, hello there, stranger. Grab a mug and have a drink if you want. I don't own the place, but I know the drink is good. After all, I brought it here. Isn't it a grand thing? Takes whatever swill I want and turns it into the sweetest summer wine. I'll be the richest wine merchant in Rathir. The city has seen better times, and it's been frantic here ever since the war touched down into Willy. But I love it all the same. I've been a wine merchant for several years, sailing up and down the coast to find the best vintages. But I don't need to do that anymore, now that I've got the chalice. I was wondering when word would get out that I had the bauble. Just recently came to it. But I'm afraid I can't give it over, stranger. It's not for sale. Back again? Glad to help, but I don't know how much I can do for you. Back again? Glad to help, but I don't know how much... but I'm afraid I can't give it...
You're from the Scholia Arcana, aren't you? Here to embarrass me? Well, I don't care. I'm glad I was dismissed. I'll drink to it, in fact. So you met my sister? She's been in Rathir almost as long as I have, following me around. Don't have the heart to tell her. I'm her hero, and I'm nothing but a drunk. Oh, please don't tell her what happened. One thing I've learned. The ladies here are like the spire. Breathtakingly beautiful and completely unassailable. Especially to a failure like me. Those cowards dismissed me. Afraid of me. Afraid of how difficult it'd be to train me. What is this? It was only a matter of time before the army found me out. Just my luck. This calls for another drink. I'll have to pack my things. Allison. How do I tell my sister? Where will she live? How will she live? Army wages can pay for Allison now, but I'm leaving her. I'll send money. I hope she doesn't end up in the Wending. Let them sleep in their lofty towers. I'm headed for a real life, not sitting in front of books all day and being condescended to. Rove, another ale. Make that two.
Glad to do.
Asker's ale. Reminds me of old Gorehart. That's my home, or it was.
Get this. I wake up yesterday morning with the worst headache, no shirt, and a note that I'm fighting a duel. Me? Fighting a duel? Don't know how I got into it, but it's all rot unless I can find a second. I swear I don't remember a thing. Apparently I challenged Dalton Ames, the war hero, over the honor of my sister. I do seem to remember him and his bulky arm sitting smugly in the sea foam, taunting me. Surely you've heard of him. Back from Cluricon, and everyone's talking about his exploits on the battlefield. They used to talk about my exploits with society daughters, but... Proud son of forested traders, My name is gold in every watering hole and board house in Rathir, and, well, I'm not really allowed out of Rathir. Ah, so you've met my mother, then. All the grace and cheer of a sick auroch. Thinks all of life is trade. Any scheme for fun I have, she's sure to try and ruin it out of love. You can't fight a duel without one. Now, you might be thinking, a popular fellow like Waylon, what trouble could he have finding a second? Well, turns out my friends are all drunken cowards. Look, you seem tough enough. Be my second, and I'll make it worth your while. Thank Lupoku. There is something else I should mention. There is no way in all Amalur I'll win this fight, so I've devised a plan. Before you go to Dalton, that's my opponent, find Gelfine in the Wending and ask for some rows of shadows. She'll know what you mean. Then go to the officers' hall in the burn and, on the sly, put some on Dalton's sword point when you inspect it. All in good time, my friend. All in good time. The way I see it, I'm doomed to end up in Mel Senshir, and I'd rather cut the nose off my face than live a soldier's life. I want some freedom, and you're going to help me, right? After you've got the rows of shadows from Gelfine in the Wending, you've got to talk to Dalton in the officers' hall. Tell him I'm ready. He'll show you his dueling sword. Dab a bit of the rows of shadows on it, then come back to me. Now, time for my part in this business. You're lucky you're not me. I've got to fight a duel.
So busy these days.
The innkeep can help you with a room.
Mind your step.
Docked in Rathir today. A drink, some cheer, a hot meal, then on the waves tomorrow morn. These Alpha women.
This is the cup. These Alpha women. Bewitching is what they are.
All we haul ashore must pass the Chamber of Trade. Bribes won't do you a bit of good neither. All we haul... The men of this city don't spit, they don't stare. Manners and charm. Is a bit odd, though. Strong winds lately.
Docked in Rathir today. A drink, some cheer, a hot meal down the waves tomorrow morning.
Customs hut. All your papers in order, then? Well, you'll need those to move your cargo. Say, you're not a merchant, are you? Or a sailor? All trade in and out of Rathir must pass through customs. And Lyria's tears, how much trade there is. We're buried in it. There's a form for port of entry, 3 for the unloading of cargo, and 4 for loading a ship. And then the various writs of trade. Oh, so many forms. They just keep piling up. Then I get them muddled, and Augusta scolds me, and I end up at the sea foam. Can't miss her. She's the gnome right over there, shouting and making tallies from dawn until dusk. When an island is not an island. More crates of goods, soldiers' feet, and mages' robes cross this jut of rock than any other in the Feylands. Why, the tavern around the corner. Always good cheer there, and never so many papers and crates as in the customs house. Step outside and turn northwest. Those docks are open to merchants, which means, by and large, Varani. Where they come from, I don't know, but they come on boats in all seasons and with goods from all of Amalur. I don't know what you're talking about. And you don't either. Coming in here and saying that out loud in front of everyone? Lyria! Depends on how loud you ask and whether there's gold crossing the counter. now doesn't it? Well, I've heard them go back there, to the little grill in the wall. They ask, what cost the lot by sea? And the answer is always, 5 and 9 by night. In the back, on my right. Remember, 5 and 9 by night. Back to these papers here.
Hello, mate.
33 and a half.
The City Watch never rests.
Up you go. Don't stop. What do you think you're doing? 300 in that corner, 110 the other. Are you a trader? A captain? What? Do you have any business at all in the customs house? I was born and raised there. My father was something of a scandalous wretch. Everything there is extremely large, though we as a people are small. I am in fact aware that I am a gnome, and that this is Rathir. Don't think every half-drowned sailor who stumbled in here hasn't made that joke. If you must know, Odessa and I do not suit each other, and I'm very good at counting. Counting is the key thing in a customs house. You're standing in it, or hadn't you noticed? And I can't imagine why you are if you haven't any cargo going in or out of Rathir. Have you any notion the sum total of crates that enter and exit Rathir's port on a given day? I do. I know the profit and cost to the city, the average writs of trade per season, the escrow on accounts held. This is what I know of Rathir. No need to shout. It's not that I didn't hear it, it's that I don't know the name. This Hast isn't a shipper, buyer, chandler, or clerk. Ask Oneth at the desk if you must. He's more familiar with the riffraff than I am. Now, where was I?
Back to sea.
Feels good to have me feet on land. Docked in Rathir today. A drink?
Stay dry, Captain.
Tell me, what cost the lot by sea? Yes, but 33 by day. Go on.